Hello and welcome. Yes, this is me trying to clear up, and in no way was I ever trying to make Milk That Hen feel uncomfortable. I truly wasn't. If it did come over like that, then I do apologise. No, I am truly grateful for all of the comments that are made. The fault is totally mine. I have got that kind of brain that is too literal. As I said, I wasn't making that up. It is true. Yeah, I did sort of, the moment clicked much later on when I thought you're being way too literal. So yeah, this is just to prove that I do get that. Also, Milk That Hen has also added a little bit more detail on something that I was missing. So I thought, before we stood, while we've got this opportunity and the fields are empty because we are about to seed, then I thought this was the ideal time to literally sort of prove that I do sort of grasp what is being said. So what I've got selected is, it is obviously in this mode, the transport mode at present. It is flat, there's no the adjustment spot on that. It is exactly as Milk That Hen also. So this is not a piece of equipment you can just grab from it does require finesse, which, as you will know, I often say that I am like a bull at a gate. I am a Mr. Rusher. I am. It's true. At 90 mile an hour is my start out the gate and just go. It is, and I even tell myself off for this. It is something I'm trying to improve on, and that's again another thing I say. The channel not only improves your content, but also you as a person sometimes, because patience is something all my life I've tried to master. Slowing down. So yes, this is just one of the. This game does inspire you to improve yourself. I've got to be honest. I'm not going to waffle on for very long, but it is true. In so much as it does challenge you as a person. Now, when I first started to create the channel, well over a year ago now, I started always small and did the grass start and all that type of stuff, and I think I'm comfortable at that. But the thing is now, you guys and gals have inspired me, and I am comfortable with lots of different starts now. Hobo's Hollow, Greenlands. Greenlands was a start from scratch. Hobo's Hollow was a new farmer start. I mean, the one that has challenged me the most is Rombos Road, because I'm not that comfortable with large maps, and to be honest, Rombos Road is probably the largest map I have ever tackled. So I find that challenging, and I am getting comfortable with it. This particular map at present, though, and this particular Let's Play has, for whatever reason, and I don't know what that is, I don't think you ever do, has really sort of grabbed my heart, which is why I'm really producing quite a lot. I'm not neglecting the other Let's Plays, not at all, but I've got a soft spot. I come on to Stone Valley on this Let's Play. I've been on Stone Valley before with the other Let's Play. I didn't have the same emotional attachment as I have got to this single field. It's something special sort of going on, and it is quite I can gladly pick this up. I've done this today because there was a bit of a misunderstanding, and at no point did I want Milk That Hen to think that he was at fault. The fault is all my own. So yes, I've got this already. That's all done. It's at the right height. I've got the last roller selector, so if I drop that now and move forwards, the attach sign has now gone off. So now I select the second back one, drop that, move forwards until the attach icon has gone. Move to that one and drop it. Literally just like that. That is, and it's not squirming. That is true at that point. Now we drop that and we go and grab the individual implements, which is one thing I did say, that this is quite amazing, this particular aspect, because I think not only myself, I've seen content creators creating reviews on this, and like myself, who I think were getting a bit annoyed. The video that I watched certainly seemed to be that type of video. So now then, can I make this easier on myself as well? Because the attachment has to be. Oh, hang on. It's practice. It is practice. This is the bull at the gate. It is. Right, so actually, it's this away. They're going to attach. Yeah, that attach. I am right, aren't I? Yes, no, that is correct. I'm not worried about well, it would be nice if I did it. In fact, yeah, do you know something that is important, I would say? Yeah, it's exactly placement. The closer you can place it, the less chance it's got of squirming, as I called it. What did the squirrely, as the oh, the yeah, the whose name at this precise moment escapes me typically. Yeah, the now then, I'm not going to chase it because it always goes, but it will come to me. Right, so then, yes, I thought I'd got to do this literally before we start in earnest. I suppose I could set one of the I could actually. The farmer in me is kicking in saying you really ought to be getting on with your work. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the second one down and then grab, yeah, we're going to grab some, get somebody to get some work done. But yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the Case International because it is misbehaving with quite a lot of things. So yeah, I'm going to actually try. No, I don't know that I am. I don't trust it. I've lost that trust of it now as a, yeah, it's one of those I think that I'm going to use when all of the tractors are out. Unfortunately, it has lost my trust, which is a shame because it's almost everything. I think the only thing it's worked well with is the fertilizer spreader. So, yeah. What did I do? What? When did that happen? Have we had a mod clash? Because that shouldn't have happened like that. And I've got no reason to have done that. Or did I knock it? I'll have to look closely in editing. Did I knock it with the water? Perhaps? Wow, no, I think that's like the I remember one episode Mr. CDP did where he'd done bales or something, or was it plastic boxes, and he came in and they were all thrown over the place. It often happens when mods that don't get on together chatter and do sort of things to each other, because that was not placed like that. No, I can't think of anything other than there's been a bit of mod chatter. This is what I'm going to call it. Yeah, right. Let's get this opened and let's get some seeds in. And what did we decide? What did I say? Now, bearing in mind the right hand side is the best field. It is, as I literally painstakingly grasped last time. It's amazing sometimes the level of detail that there is in Farming Simulator. I think is that, no, it's nearly full. We may as well. Oh yeah, got to come off, switch the trigger off, and then switch the trigger back on again. It's got a funny filling thing though, this has, definitely. Right, so then, ooh, root crop, Mr. Smith, are you forgetting everything? This is true. It's seemingly so, absolutely. Now this is the point, yeah, I would say we need to do our trial with this, and now this is a bit low horsepower. Well, I suppose, yeah. It probably is best to use the International for that, so let's just drop that weight off, because this time we can't, yeah, we can't have that. No, actually, I suppose it would give us a chance to see if the International is possible to use in this circumstance. And actually, this particular thing fits perfectly with the case. It is the perfect width for this to actually plough. Did I miss that? I did, yeah. To plough and seed at the same time. Maybe a little bit of adjustment on it, but yeah. It is things like this and like that piece of equipment that actually really can be special if you can master them. If there is a way for you to do that, absolutely, then it really just becomes special. And I do think, and I wasn't being sarcastic, that piece of equipment has got the makings of being a great implement. That it would be one of those implements like the Joskins, which I would include in almost all of my Let's Plays as something that is not only cheap but also brilliant. It has got the mark of greatness if, as Milkbat said, that you do take the time to actually. Right, let's unfold that first. No, that's lower. Now then, am I going to have to with the workers? The thing is, if you use courseplay, you often have to get these ready and put them in the position that you would want them and switch them on. Now it does do that, but I'm using 2 implements, so I think I'll have to. Now then, that's a point. Right, let's load the 5.3 meter course in. This is 25A. We want 5.3 meter, clear, load, activate. So then, let's look at the first point. So I want to put this close to it so that they don't put the implements away. Right, smashing. Switch that off a second. Get to the line, the first point, so that they don't put the implements away, and so that I get it right. So we put that down, and then it will understand that one, or should. You don't switch it on, so there is nothing for them to do. So then we need to change this to barley. Absolutely. And then we need to say, hang on a minute, am I in the right month? Just check. No, this is canola. I want canola in the other field, so no, forget it. We'll do canola in this field. Actually, we'll do that in the other one. It doesn't matter. Right, now that's it. So we've got to do the other next one. So we'll go no waypoints and no none and go. Let's see if this actually works. Are we going to get the absolutely spot on? This is the one thing that is a little bit perturbing to myself, is this bit here where it does the difference. Yeah, it's very sort of hit and miss on what it does. Very hit and miss. There's no reason why this is any different to any other, and yet somehow you get weird little patches where it does do different cat animations. Whereas on FS19 you did get a consistency that's missing sadly in FS22. Right, let's get you off the field and let's continue with our demonstration whilst actually getting some work done. Now then, there's one thing I need to check. I'm sure in editing that I was looking, and I'm sure we haven't done the silage yet, which means we are missing a trick. But I want to get on with this quickly. I don't want to lose that. Yeah, I am right. Because that's a lot of income. This is going to be the income that's going to make the difference between us buying this field this year, and I would love to do that before these disappear. I would like to, but I don't think we're going to quite manage that. I truly think... Now, how are you doing? I'm doing very well, actually. Right. Now let's grab the International, which is the slightly bigger of the two. It hasn't really got the horsepower to do this, but this is just a demonstration. I'm not really trying to use it because it has got. In fact, let's do this scientifically. Yeah, I do try to do that occasionally. I have moments. So we are looking for the weeders. I think they're 40 horsepower per one, if I remember rightly. Yes, they are. So that's 120 horsepower, and also the actual trolley itself is 90. It was quite high, actually. It is a fairly hefty piece of equipment, or it looks hefty. Let's have a look. It is, 90 horsepower. I did remember correctly. So that's 120, 210 horsepower in total. Yeah, this is way too much for this, but I'm not really trying to use it, only just put these on this particular time. So then, we're still in transport mode. My mistake last time for it to go in squirrely or squirming was the fact that that side piece was down. I'd got it unfolded. This is now in transport mode. Now then, let me just think what Milkbat Hen was saying in his enhanced instructions. Obviously, I can't. They are lowered. They're at the ground. Now then, has it got adjustment, or are the wheels lifted? No. So the adjustment's right, which is where we left it. We've not altered that since sort of doing that. Now then, oh, and the other thing that you need to have done is, of course, reconfigured it. Hang on, was one of those disappeared? No, I think I left it, didn't I? Yeah, so we need to get the last one. I was in mid thing, wasn't I? I'd only got 2 of them out, so that's my fault. I wanted to get the worker working whilst we were doing this, truthfully. Yeah, and then we're going to continue with the last one. So this it is an amazing bit of kit, it really is. And I truthfully do mean it. I would love to master this completely, because if you could just buy the one trolley, that would obviously, Alexa's just joining the party. Yeah. Right, let's... Have I got that the wrong way? I have indeed. Yeah, I need to turn that around. Then we need to alter the harrow's configuration to the 3, the 4 meter one. Right, let's go do that now, or else this is going to fail like my first attempt due to me doing it in the wrong configuration. Yeah. Right, smashing. Right, let's alter it. I don't know if that does anything weird to the actual thing either. Now then, this is set quite far back, so I need to... I'm not sure it didn't click. It doesn't always, though. Yeah, it says. That's brilliant. It doesn't need repairing. Neither does that. Connection harrows. That's the trick. It is. That's one of the tricks. Otherwise, it's never going to work, which is exactly why I got this wrong on the very first time that I actually used it. Now, has that changed? No, it's still in transport. Oh, I've hit that hidden spot on the 82 Studios. Let's go around and give myself a bit of room. Yeah, it does even struggle with this a little. It's powerful enough to do that, truthfully. Right, let's make sure. Yes, I have got to put this in exactly the same configuration as before. Line it up. Glad we're doing this, because this is exactly as you would do this in real life. Now then. Is there anything I am missing? I will switch that off. Lower coupling trolley. No, not for this. No, lift. But sometime today would be nice. No, fold, that's right. I need to fold that. So, yeah, notice the back wheels go like ready to... Now the front wheels, obviously, they're the ones that do cause the trouble, because they could wander all over the place. But the back wheels, the ones that are, under the little bit that sticks out, they're the ones that are going to fight me going backwards if they were the wrong way, and that will be squirrely, as he said. But there is nothing else I could do. Unfold is when that side piece goes down, and that's when the... Yeah, in fact, let's focus on that. If I say lower, no, unfold, look at the back wheels. They now go into forwards mode, so that is going to help me. The 2 side big wheels, they go wherever. They're guided by the back guide wheels. So let's fold it again so that it goes into transport mode, which assists me in going backwards. Yeah, I'm trying to be as exact as possible now. So let us switch that off before everyone starts shouting, and let's try. It is still a little, and this tractor obviously isn't quite, so I've got to try and assist this with my own angle of the own tractor. You can see though, this is the bit that I find difficult, which is why I would be tempted to grab a trolley per set, because I still find it a little bit, and I think there's only so much alteration you can have on this, and there's only lowering, which then changes the wheel configuration as far as I can see it. The actual, the trolley actual, where if I adjust that bar at the front, that lifts the wheels off and makes it either easy or hard. Now that is level, there is no lifting or things like that. So yeah, this is the bit that I find a little bit tricky. I don't know whether that's the shape of the front bar with it being slightly at an angle or what, but I still find this bit a little bit tricky, which is why I think it is important you try to get your angles as good as possible. But yeah, there we go. Let's go in. This is what I was saying. And again, this could be the actual field itself, because it's not on grass, or it's not... Yeah. It could be that, actually. The true test would be to take this down to the wood, actually. And we can't connect it. We've got to get those through there, really. Let's see, can I go past them? No, I can't. Whoa, that is really not wanting to... How are we doing now? Let's get in there. Let's get in there. You may have finished the field before I actually get this right. Do you wonder? No, because then I've got to replow it. Do you know what? We shall reconvene down at the shop as a true test, because I'd like to know if it is the fact of the actual concrete itself. So I'm going to stop recording, and I'm going to take us down to the shop. But I'm not. It's going to take too long if I sort of show me doing all of that. So, yes, let me see you down at the shop, and we shall continue with this demonstration in a proper place where the concrete may or may not assist me, where the field, I'm sure the physics of this is actually not helping. I'm sure it's not. So yeah, let's go and take this somewhere else and see if it does affect things. So I'm going to see you shortly. Right, we now have reconvened at the shop. We shall try that again, and this, they are imperfect. Perfect. Yeah. Now then, is that still... It is still in the correct configuration. We shall check the height of this. We shall adjust it on purpose just to prove that it is in the best possible. Obviously this isn't the perfect tractor, but it says only for connecting. It is. It's not actually for anything else other than that. So we're not trying to use it because it would not quite have the sufficient power. So it's got quite a high power requirements to do this. I mean, 210 horsepower. When I say quite a bit, I would class that as, yeah, when you first start off and it's 150 horsepower tractors. Right, anyway, let's switch that on. Yeah. So we've got, now then, if I remember rightly, it is, yeah, it's that one there, extend front loader arm. Yeah, you can see it lifting. Yeah, that's me adjusting it incorrectly. Well, the wrong way. Now that has to sit on the ground equally. Looks about right. So that the more it's proper, more it's square. Let's have a look. Actually, does that? No, of course it's got to adjust to the height of the tractor as well, which is, yeah, that point's gonna be different for each tractor. Yeah, that's lifted, so that's going to be squirrely. Whereas that is, now if I do it too much the other way, then that wheel should lift as well. So what you're wanting is somewhere in the middle. Trying to look for that bar. That looks about right for this tractor. Still. Yeah, it's still fighting me. Still wanting that. That's me turning that towards the harrows, and it is resisting. So yeah. Let's go past that and try to compensate somewhat. And it's absolutely taking no notice of me whatsoever. Okay. Well, the only adjustment you've got at this point is the wheels have got to be correct, and it isn't to lower coupling trolley. Or is it? Is that? No, that's what does that. So then it only goes forward. So it is lift. Or do you? Hang on. Oh, let's lower and let's fold. So that's in the lowered position. Because if I remember rightly, that is exactly what Milk That Hen was talking about. So let's see if that has made the difference between this going squirrely as... Now then, let's try and get this square. Not to go too much into the trees or hit the building. That's going to help enormously. Which you're still trying to climb the building. Now that is going the wrong way, and that is not me. Right, okay then. Well, it wasn't the field then that was doing the resisting of the turn. It really wasn't. Right, so we have our thing finished at the top. Do you know, I'm going to leave this for a minute. We are going to go back up the top and we're going to shoot back in this. We've got to crack on at the top, and this is a secondary task, it really is. So yes, I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to see you shortly. Right then, reconvening back at the field. I have figured it out. I've got it finally. It's actually quite a lot to that. Right, let's drop that down. Yeah, we've got the repairing of the field to do. Obviously there are bits where it drops down and lifts up and things like that, and now that I always knew it's not perfect. I did this when I first used this configuration on Avon Valley, my for fun map that I just do for myself, that I don't do recordings on, which is just sometimes. I don't do it very often, because as most content creators, I get enough fun out of actually doing this, yeah, most of the time. But there are some times, yeah, the odd time, especially over this work crisis, where I've really needed a little tiny bit of alone, where you're just literally looking at something just yourself. You need to just blow the cobwebs out like I used to, yeah, before actually becoming a content creator and actually creating content. So, but it was this where I realised there was a little bit more to this. You did need to do something else to get it perfect. I did ask myself the question, is it worth it, or is it? And I've got to say that it is still worth coming over the field and repairing it, rather than doing a complete twofold process of you going over this, like ploughing on its own and then sowing on its own. So yeah, I still think it's, there are bits, the worker makes a bit more of a hash of this than you yourself. Yeah, I can get this a lot better, but again, I'm using the worker, so yeah, all these little tiny bits of damage that I wouldn't have done if it was me. That is true. So yeah, there is a bit of repair work if you're going to use a worker to do this, as can be seen by, obviously these are the bits, the corner bits that are going to miss anyway. These are where they lift them up and put them down at each of the ends. So yeah, this is the worst bit of damage that you'll get if you use a worker to do this. Well, courseplay. But I still think it still adds up to way more or way less work than if you were to do this twice, and that's the thing. You can't expect perfection, and well, you saw me do it. If you can do this very well, where you've got to lift quite a lot, and I did that and I didn't get all of this. So you can, as a human, do a far better job. But of course we were doing something else. So yeah, I think I figured it out. I truly do. I'm making a pig's ear of it because I'm reversing, which is a bit squirrely. It is. It is one thing I will say. It has got a learning curve, and it is. I actually like that. It's a bit resistive, and it's almost like going through skid training. But I like the challenge of something like that. It is a heavy piece of equipment, as it shows by its 210 horsepower limit. So yeah, it's not something you can just pick up and go. It requires finesse, which is something I'm working on still. Yeah, pull at a gate, remember, definitely. But as with all things, with a bit of training it can be mastered, and with this, quite a bit of training. So right, I think that's that entire top end of the field done. Just a little bit of fixing here. What I'm wanting to do is to... Should we do... No, we shan't. I'm enjoying this, the mod. We're trying to work with the mod, so it is a matter now of waiting until next month, so we can speed time up, because really the work we're doing at the shop, it's not important, and I think I've just about got everything ready to do that properly. I think I've finally figured out exactly what move that hen was doing, and also thought back to his original video, because I'm making this harder than it needs to, because I'm trying to reverse and I don't need to. It really is as simple as that. It's finding the easiest bit, easiest way to use this piece of equipment, and I figured out exactly as Middle Hen showed originally. Absolutely, it's all, as I said, this is all me that's at fault, really is. I've always had that, I have had a brain, it is funny, I've always had that brain where, when I was a kid at school, the teachers nearly gave up on me when learning to read. Yeah, I was falling further and further behind. This was when I was about 5 or 6, and I think if I hadn't have had a teacher that could see my potential and didn't mock and didn't give me that extra time, I would have been one of those kids where they thought this kid's a remedial. It wasn't that. It took me a long time to grasp what they were saying, but you know, that teacher was rewarded with the fact that I overtook the other kids when I had grasped reading. It's not that I'm unintelligent, it is that I've got a funny brain. It is when I pick something up, I can sometimes see complicated things very well, easy things not so much. So it is, I tend to overcomplicate things, I really do. It is true, I'm not making that up. Right, let's just have a look. The other thing is, we can see by the map which is on for the nitrogen that there's a lot where it's not nitrogened it, and I don't understand why that's done that. However, it does say that in places it says the weeds are growing, so we're going to roll over with the harrow to actually sort out the... Yeah, in fact we could do that this month quickly. Have we lifted that? Yes, I have. Have we seeded it? Now that looks perfectly seeded to me. I can't see any bits missing on that. So let's get this ready for next month, where we want barley. Right, let's lift that and let's sort this now. Do we have any seeds? Am I wasting money where we have actually already got seeds? I can't remember, but we shall see. Ooh, it was there. We were there. And if we do that, have we got any of that? Let's go on and off. Don't think we have, or it would have allowed me to fill, because it's only looking for there we are. I thought we had got some spare. Right. That's ready for next month, so we'll drop that on this side of the field in readiness. We need to move the 82 Studios. We're going to grab... we're not going to grab the harrow, not just yet. Not just yet. We are very shortly. Right, we will reconvene back down the shop, where I'm hoping that I've finally grasped all concepts of this particular piece of equipment. Right, let's do that first. Absolutely. Yes, it is true that that's not a made-up story. That is literally when I was learning to read, I was terrible, but my teacher didn't give up on me. She knew that I wasn't actually lacking intelligence. I've got that funny sort of brain that overcomplicates things and struggles, and then I get that eureka moment. You may see it in some of the videos where I finally grasp, but some things, complicated things, so some of the productions and that I grasp quite easily, and that's the other side of the coin. So I've just got way too many stones on this. When we are a little bit better off, I am not forgetting the stones. It is a matter of affording. It is. These are big stones, I think. We should just check. I would say that they are yellow. Oh no, they're the big stones. It's very strange, this is, I've got to say. Because sometimes when you use that harrow, it's not a plough, but you know what I mean. Yeah, come on, it's subsoiler. Yeah, when we use a subsoiler, it sometimes kicks up tiny stones and then other times kicks up large. This time it's done large, so I don't get it. I don't get why sometimes we've seen small. Yeah, here we go. It's exactly the same. We've got little ones now. Hang on a minute. Did we? No, this is the bit we ploughed. We did roll, and this has got. No, it did have small as well. Yeah, it is. Some didn't roll, so it is very confusing. It's a little bit random. A little bit like weeds. Weeds sometimes crop up and then they don't. Anyway, yes, enough waffling from me. I shall see you down at the shop. Right, I have approached this from a different angle. I really have. Because that now looks almost perfectly square. On that, it isn't. It's very at a weird angle. Even on this, which is 261 horsepower, which is 50 horsepower more than the requirements, it's still not quite right. I was beginning to pull my hair out, truthfully, but I've got the Fendt Black Beauty, which is only 296 horsepower. I've leased it. Obviously this is a test, this is a mod review, so this is not me. Yeah, I've literally wasted about 30,000, which I will put back in, hence the balance is 118. This is just me for testing purposes, so that money should be put back in, because this is not really happening. This is a mod review, so it's not really taking the money out of Stone Valley. That should be put back in, because this is me just testing this. So you can see that's 296 horsepower. Now this is, hang on, have I got it the right way? Please tell me I have. No, I haven't actually. I've gone the wrong way, haven't I? They need to be going now then. That is, now I need to let go. Otherwise I'm going to make a mess of this, because I'm going to knock them out of the thing, which is exactly what the... Oh, I nearly had his name then. The American, fantastic, very zany mod review that I watched originally. So I have, yeah, that is right. I've got to do it this way. I've got to go over that way because the links are at the back. Now this is better. It really is. I think some of this is down to tractors and the level on that being right. Now, the one thing I did notice on one of them was one of the wheels was lifting when I was doing certain things, and it was literally going all over the place, bucking like a bronco, and yet everything's right. It's in the right mode. The wheels are literally assisting me in going backwards. Has got to be done backwards as well, not forwards, because you can't actually, yeah, now that you know, we've got to ignore that. We've got to go well over that. Oh, Milk That Hen made it look easy, and it is if you get your angle right, but I came in at this at a funny angle, and let's face it, life isn't always perfect. So yeah, this is now me trying to go over that. I've got to ignore that. I've got to go right the way until we've got all of those. Now I did reconfigure. Yes, I did. Now that is that much I did do. I've got to be very careful. It's got to start to go out a little, or I'm going to knock them. This is where finesse is required. Do I have any finesse? That is a question. Please tell me you haven't reset to another configuration, because you don't somehow look right to me. No, then I'm not far enough actually. It's not that at all. Yes, I am right. Right now the little hooks at the bottom. Let's look at this very, very closely. In the right configuration, the little hooks and the pickups actually are all going to line up pretty much right, which it will allow me a little bit of adjustment. That's not quite right. Can I go back a little? No, because that is actually right. No, maybe very slightly. Have I gone too much? Am I going the wrong? No, I am. It's that. Yeah, I can see that first one is, being as the shop plates this should be perfect. I should now just go attach, attach, attach. It is as easy as that. It really is. But it isn't as easy as that. It is important that that is level, and that's dependent on the tractor you choose. Now, Milk That Hen chose a nice Massey that was a good size. That's perfect. Let me just show you something. Let me just, you need to let go of the trolley. Let me show you now with a another tractor. Obviously this is underpowered, but this is only for moving equipment. It isn't. It's not for anything else. Now I'm just gonna. Now that was the height that it was left by that at the right height. Now let me show you with this. Notice anything different? Oh, we haven't changed configuration. See how that drag that now look, that wheel is rising up. So when we make the adjustment to drop that down, because that is what it's about, that is at that level, and that does something weird to the. It doesn't steer straight anymore. With this particular tractor, it starts to become a little willful. It truly does. Now then, Milk That Hen did also say that you need to lower the individual, so let's try that. Although obviously for literally putting them on, that really doesn't help in that thing, but you do need to do that. Does that make it more? That's reversing that it seems to have the trouble with, not going forwards. Does it go straight? No, it wants to veer straight off that away. Right, okay, let's drop that. I just want to do this properly. Like many things, sometimes we stumble upon something and think we. This is not me having to go Milk That Hen either, because I am very grateful to his. It's just, it was beginning to make me pull my hair out because it wasn't quite working right. And I looked at the bar and realised that obviously, I know this myself, there's lots of tractors that work well with one piece of equipment, and then there's also tractors that work terribly, and sometimes it can just be the height of the 3-point link. And I can't remember the tractor in FS19 on one map that I had gave up with the Rawley Christie 6-metre plough because it hated it. I think it was was the 7250 Pro. Now let's. Whoa! Don't you know it goes travelling? Now that does look actually almost level, but it is almost level. It still goes down slightly. It's still a little bit willful when you start to reverse. Yeah, see, it's veering straight off. That's with me going straight. You can see I'm perpendicular to that. Just try to show that, and I'm just going back. Notice anything? Yeah. And yet the guide wheels are straight with me, so that should mean that I go straight when I go backwards, but it's not. Right, let's put the Black Beauty back on. My favourite horse. Right. Now that, no, stop it, because it's going to go veering off. That's what it did to me a couple of sessions ago. Literally went travelling right the way across the field, and yeah, that was quite funny. That was. It is hilarious. Do you know? I don't think I've ever had a piece of equipment I've wanted to learn its secrets so much as this. It is. I can see its greatness. It is. And I've never sort of disrespected it or thought. You know, like this is. I mean, I agree. Oh, I nearly had his name again. Oh, what is your name? Perfectly level. Perfectly level. Now let's get this square first, though. I don't want this to be any fluke by me doing something different. Yeah, it is. Even that doesn't hold a true line, but you can fight it by doing that. Hang on a minute. Let's get this. No, they are all down, but it does look like something's not quite right. Are they lowered? No, we don't want to do that. We want to lift that. No, lift it. Otherwise we're in the wrong configuration. Fold. No, that's lift. Okay, well let's try both, because we had it lowered and that was no better. It was horrible. So is it raised? Is that better? Now also check that your wheels are all perfectly not lifted. They're all good. There is no, and that bar is also as level as can be with this particular tractor. Right, now then, let's try. Go backwards, straight. Now it's doing something weird. Yeah. So it's not that. Definitely not that. They need to be lowered. I'm sure Milk That Hen said that. So it is, that proves that it's actually at its best if they're lowered. Obviously we can't lower the coupling trolley because that unfolds it, or if you, yeah, so this is definitely transport mode. So let's go just straight, just hit the reverse, and you can see that like all of the other tractors, it doesn't just go backwards. No, it's, yeah, it really does require finesse, and it is still willful when you do that. So I don't know. I am going to watch and study Milk That Hen's video, truly am, because yeah, I still can't. This is the only one of these three tractors I could actually do the reversing over with. It really is. So it's interesting, very interesting. Still personally feel if I was going to do this, I would want to put another trolley on each one, and I would use it in that configuration. I would love to learn its little foibles, but it seems to me, as I'm reversing, I don't reverse like on Milk That Hen's video, so I don't know if it is what I'd like to do. Can I remember the exact Massey? Was it the 280 or the 220? Because yeah, this is a review, so let's do it properly. Let's get one ordered. Yeah, let's return you. No, let's not just yet. This is a mod review, so was it a large or a medium? I can't remember. I cannot remember which Massey it was. It was got to be a 210, otherwise its horsepower slightly under. So if we go for the 7710, was it the 720? That's the 280. That's the one I've got on comms, and it is a beaut. So let's do that. Let's go for the 280, and we're going to lease that because all monies will be returned. Now it may have been the 220. It might have been the smaller version. Let's just try this. Make sure our levels and everything are right. It definitely was a Massey, I remember, but I cannot for the life of me remember without referring back to Milk That Hen's video, which I could do of course, but not in the middle of making this one. Now then, all wheels are, let's just move and see if they do. No, they seem all very happy. Very happy. Now we'll go forwards. Now we will go backwards. No, it still wants to veer off. Yeah, it does. If you go perfectly straight. Now you can, of course. Let's see how well this steers, though, because yeah, even the Black Beauty, you'd got to fight it a little to get it to go straight. You know, actually, let's do this properly. Right, let's drop these in a line in the middle of the car park so that we can do this. Now we need to drop the back one first, truthfully, and then run away. Ish, middle-ish, that's going to give me enough room. So, drop, move off, back, drop, move off, back, drop, move off. Right, so now then, in a perfect world, we would approach this and go straight backwards, but it's not a perfect world. So yes, let's do what we would. We put those away in a shed. We're going to come back to this randomly from wherever we are on our farm, and we are going to go get this, try to get it in the perfect angle as you would try to, and then reverse. being very careful because it is wanting to heavily go to the left, so I've got to fight it. Now then, make sure my wheels haven't gone for me. Aha, it has. Look, that wheel there is, for some reason, has lifted. Right, okay. Let's try that again, because that is important. That's when it starts to go squirrely. Ooh, it's still, yeah. What I want to know is why that changed its configuration between me letting go and driving around the car park, because I have not done anything, so that's why would it suddenly start to lift its back wheel? Yeah, as a right, square off and ignore the first one. Still fighting me. Right, yes. A little bit further. Now then, this time we have got to do this slightly different. We need to connect that first one. Ah, is it? No, it is. It's a reverse. Right. Now I'm on the middle one or the end one. I think that's the end one. It is. Now we need to crack on. Get the second one. Crack on. And get the third one. Job is a good one. I've got to give it the Black Beauty and the Massey did that. That's what equals that. My tractor, not so much. Definitely was more difficult. But yeah, I've got to be honest. If you choose the right tractor, I'll tell you what. Let's be really thorough. I don't want this to be. If we're going to do a mod review and we're going to show different sort of strengths and weaknesses, then let's do it properly. Because this is my tractor. This is the one that we are going to be working with. So, but it's in the middle of the yard. This is a perfect situation. Let's grab this. Let's go square though, Mr. Smith. Let's see if you can do a better job than that, because that was definitely out. Definitely. Right, now then, wheels. Let's go forwards and backwards. Yeah, back wheel is lifting very slightly. Well, no. Actually, no, they're all on the floor. It's in the right mode. So we go to the back one and we drop it. Go to the back one. We need to move and let the attach sign go, which it is. Now we drop the back one. Grab the back one again. Move forwards until the attach drops. Do that. Now I'm going to treat this in exactly the same way. In a perfect world, you could reverse that perfectly well now, but that's not realistic. No, I need to do. They are in a shed. I drive away, and days later, I want this implement. Has to be reversed for the position to be right, which is a shame. I would love to be able to just go forwards over this thing. Now then, watch the shop. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Right, let's. Now then, come on. Yes, it is. It's different. It's very much different. Can I do it? Come on. Now then, it's not fighting me too much. Need to get this end one on first. Reverse. Second one to, and then reverse. There we go. Job is a good one. It is. That was as good as it gets, and that is the Fortschritt coupling trolley. So, yes, certain tractors it doesn't like. I couldn't get that to work no matter what I did. It was very squirrely as the is it the Zany Farm Sim? No, Looney Farm Sim guy. Gordon Bennett took all this time for that to drop. Yeah, the Looney Farm Sim guy, as he said, he called it squirrely. Now I call it squirming, but yes, I agree with him totally. But some tractors are better than others. Again, if you look at that, it's almost level and the wheels are all good. That one couldn't do that, and it added another level of difficulty on that I could not for the life of me control that reversing. So yeah, that probably is the horsepower requirement, but it's more than that. I think it's also the height. This is smaller, physically smaller. All of these medium tractors are all very similar in their 3-point link configuration and height. You can see that they are almost identical in height, almost. That makes a difference with this, it truly does. So yeah, this is okay, because that's fairly good. So that was alright. It still isn't as good as those two though, that is one thing I will say. But this is me signing out from this mod review before this becomes the longest session in history. We need to go up and speed time up, so I shall see you back up there. I'm going to alter my money back to what it should be, send these beasts back, and I'm going to see you at the top of the map. See you shortly.